I was just thinking as Todd was talking and remembering last year, no, it's right there. And you don't want me to spill it. And remembering last year that this was one of my first really fun events where I kind of did on my own. One of the first kind of like off-the-cuff speaking, toasting events that I did for wine. And the next morning when the newspaper came out, Bob was calling me, he goes, why do you get all the fun jobs? You're on the front page, full color, with a wine glass in your hand. So from that day on, he was so jealous of some of the initiatives that I tried to cash in on when after he was inaugurated. Because I really just wanted to support things that Virginia was doing that I had a passion to see succeed, and in the economic development, this one on promoting Virginia wine was just a favorite of mine. It's turned out to be one of the more fun things, and I'll tell you one little tidbit of something that we're doing at the mansion in honor of our the first settlers to this country when they came here 400 years ago, and the three ships, the Godspeed, the Discovery, and the Susan Constant, and they brought these vines from Europe. They had this really great vision. They knew that wherever they landed, they wanted to bring wine to the New World, and so they brought the vines on the ships with them, and they had a rule that every young man over the age of 18 had to plant and cultivate at least 10 vines. And I've loved that story, and I've shared it a lot, and when we went over on our trade trip to England, Todd and I had great fun just sharing the success of that vision that those pioneers had coming, and the folks that were tasting some of our wines for the first time were so thrilled to have the benefit of receiving that wine, because they kept thinking, I knew you could do it. They were so happy to see coming back to them now with wines they would import and bring into the European market, and so that was really fun. And then every time I've talked about that, I've just thought, wow, they had a bunch of challenges, and we planted a garden at the mansion. And one evening I was out there just kind of thinking how nice the setting is. Even though you're downtown, in the middle of everything, it's really, Capitol Square is really a beautiful place. And I was picking some weeds out of our garden, and looking at it thinking, okay, what else do we need to plant? Excuse me. And all of a sudden I said, I could plant 10 vines. And so I know, I'm really excited. I started doing my homework, and I employed Luca and all my friends through the wine industry who've all from all different vineyards who've teamed together to help me find something that I could grow. And because I'm going to have my challenges, even though the Capitol's on a hill, and right where our little garden is, it does slope down. There's a rose garden below it. It's a pretty place. It does have sun, but my soil wasn't quite right, and so we're cultivating the soil. And next week we will be putting in 10 Chamberson wine vines. And hopefully by the anniversary of the mansion, our 200th our bicentennial, I will have a few grapes that I can sprinkle into some vintage. I'm hoping for Lucas sweating, but I know you can do it.
Lucas says he's going to win the Governor's Cup.
Oh, that would be great. And maybe we'll have our own little mansion label, but I think it would be something beautiful to have for the anniversary, even if it's just a little bit of juice from those grapes, something to say that we're gonna, we're taking on that challenge and bringing it back to life because it's been so successful. So with that, I'd like to ask everyone to raise your cup with me and really thank you for your investment and for the success of Love by the Glass. I think I love the name. I mean, it's hard to make something like that fail. But to what we've been able to start here in Virginia, and what we've been able to bring a vision to so many, and what your work and your support really means to the Commonwealth. I thank you on behalf of the Governor and myself. So make mine Virginia wine. Cheers. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Danielle Ballard and welcome to Virginia Wine TV. Today we're at the launch of Virginia Wine Week at the Wine Loft in Glen Allen, Virginia. And joining me is Jeff Ottaviano, proprietor of the Wine Loft. Hi Jeff, how are you?
We're doing fine.
Good. So let's talk a little bit about how many Virginia wines you serve here at the Wine Loft.
We serve about 24 different, 27 now, wines by the bottle from Virginia. About another 12 that we do by the glass.
Oh, that's excellent. That's amazing for
I
this
think,
area.
yeah, I think we are the number one in terms of selection and quantity in the Richmond area. Top 5 in all of Virginia.
So have you seen an increase in people ordering Virginia wines?
We have, definitely. You know, we've only been open for about 15 months now. In those 15 months, I think we just pulled the report today, we sold 1,183 glasses of Virginia wine.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, pretty good.
Kudos to you for promoting the Virginia wine industry.
Oh, we love to do it. I mean, it'd be a shame not to take advantage of it right in your backyard.
So, tell me a little bit about the reception that you've had from the Richmond community.
It's been fantastic. Like I said, 15 months. Everything's going well. I think Richmond was really waiting for a true wine bar like this out here in Charlottesville, where all the traffic seems to be coming. We've been very well received. Made a lot of friends.
So I understand here at the Wine Loft you have a promotion for Virginia wine.
We do. We call it our Wine Loft Virginia Wine Backpack Challenge. The way it goes, we started last year when we opened. For every bottle of Virginia wine we sell, Chris, my wife, and I will donate a backpack to the Central Virginia Food Bank's Backpack for Kids program. So, you know, it's a win-win. I call it a true win. So you get the win because you get to drink good wine. You win because you're supporting the local Virginia industry, and you're also feeding a kid on the weekend through their backpack program.
That sounds like a fantastic reason to drink Virginia wine.
I think we've donated over 120 backpacks so far.
That's excellent. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you so much for hosting us today
Sure.
and for taking the time to sit down with us. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good job. Thank you. Joining me now is Annette Boyd from the Virginia Wine Board. Hi Annette, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Good, thank you. So let's talk a little bit about the retailers and restaurants that participated this week. How many do you estimate that there are?
Currently, we have 340 restaurants and wine shops around the state of Virginia and surrounding it, and that would carry over into Washington, D.C. and North Carolina as well that have signed up for the program.
And so how does that differ from participation last year versus this year?
It's a nice bump. Last year we had 240 accounts, so we have another 100 accounts that have signed up this year over last year. I think that's going to take 40%. So we're really excited.
Very good. So how do you advertise Virginia Wine Week to the retailers, businesses, and consumers?
Well, the first thing that we do is we send notices out to all our wineries. We really want wineries to know that the accounts that they work with, that if they work with distributors, to make sure they are working with us to let them know. Separately, we have our own list of trade accounts, wholesalers that represent Virginia wines. We have our own list of Virginia wine restaurants and wine shops that have worked with us in past promotions. And we really send communications out to them, encouraging them to sign up and letting them know what the benefits are if they do sign up. And the rest, they need to sign a letter of commitment and give it back to us. And once they do, they're in.
So what would you say the response rate would be from everybody that you ever talked to? Had a pretty good turnout with that?
We've had a very good turnout. I actually don't have the figures of how many people are on the list. I think it's maybe 600 accounts around the state. And even when I say state, I also mean Washington, D.C., Maryland, and North Carolina. We're receiving our emails. And so we're very excited with the turnout. And of course, we always like to see a growth. So a lot of folks, there's actually a lot of accounts that I know are promoting Virginia wines on a daily basis, but they actually don't take the time to fill out the form. So they're not really included in their numbers, even though I think they want to start doing.
So what do you think we can do to encourage those wineries and retailers to participate next year?
Well, the first thing for our office is really do the best job that we can do to get the public excited about the promotion, to drive people to our website where they can see their people are promoting, and to drive folks to visit those establishments. And I think as those establishments see value, then they will see, then that will encourage them to sign up for the program.
Well, Annette, it's been lovely talking with you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again next year.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, we're back, and here with me is Secretary Haymore. Hello, Secretary. How are you?
Thanks for having me again.
Good. Thank you for joining us. So, how many wineries are there in Virginia?
We have about 190 wineries. Less than 5 years ago, there was about 120. So it's one of the fastest growing sectors of agriculture in the state. Each year, more and more wineries are all around the state. Our Southwest Virginia, Northern Virginia, Eastern Shore, and making quality wine. So we've got a lot of things going for us here in Virginia, particularly when these wineries open up in different areas. We're working to preserve farmland, we're promoting tourism, we're selling great products. So it's a win-win-win.
So, would you say that includes pending franchises?
We've got a few that are in the pipeline, as they say, and I think we'll be close to getting to 200 wineries this year. We'll hopefully mark some celebration when 200 winery opens, but right now we're at 190 wineries. Official figures last week, and I think we'll be closing around 200 wineries.
So, explain to our viewers what constitutes a Virginia wine.
Virginia wine is at least 75% Virginia grape in the bottle. Obviously, there are a number of wineries that are 100% covered it all. They're going to call you certain wine, in this case, Virginia wine, at least 75% Virginia grapes, juice in the bottle. Obviously, as we make that 75%, they put the Virginia label on, we're proud of that. But a number of wineries are making wine straight from 100% Virginia grapes.
I think most people are shocked at the amount of wineries that we have and the amount of wine that we produce here in Virginia. So,
Yeah, we're the fifth largest wine producing state in the nation right now, behind California, Oregon, Washington, and New York. So we want to make ourselves the wine capital of the East Coast. It's one of the things that Donna, First Lady, myself, the wine board, the wine marketing office, we're all working together in collaboration to help this burgeoning industry. It's growing on its own. But having some state support behind it to help take it one step further, not only in Virginia, but around the country, global marketplace. Now, Virginia wines in Asia, wines in Europe, and we want to continue to push that because not only is it about selling wine, it's also about promoting Virginia and having tourists come here from all around the world. So we view it as a huge economic development tool.
so what would you say sets Virginia wine apart from all of these other regions that we have about here in the United States?
Producing the best wine.
Well, hey, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Maureen McDonnell, and on behalf of the Governor of Virginia and myself, I'd like to thank all the restaurants and retailers for participating in Virginia Wine Week.
Maureen, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for tuning in to Virginia Wine TV, and we'll see you next time.